Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Speaking of friends, I'm with my friend Willie Walls, aka Liberace, playing some piano in the background. And of course, the Great Swame, Odell Blocker, getting ready to go. Gentlemen, Michael Penix Jr. was playing tonight, but we're not talking about quarterbacks anymore. We're talking about running backs. And let's talk about the number one running back who already has a calf injury. His name is Christian McCaffrey. He's been known to be injured quite often. Are you trusting him this year, Willie Walls, in either regular, in DFS? Are you paying up for him? Are you taking him number one? Are you all in? Or do you think he regresses from last year?
He can regress from last year, but case in point, in our league, which I did win a championship last year, in our league, I have the number one choice, and I'm gonna take him. I told him he's already off the board. He's already off the board. You know, I mean, listen. And let me tell you what: 33 games in San Francisco, 39 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, you know, now, yeah. I mean, honestly, I would rather be like number 4 or 5, so I could get Bijan or my man, who my favorite is, Breece Hall. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be a fool because San Francisco, you know, they have one of the best play calling coaches in the NFL. So if you got number one, you take them. But I'm just saying, I don't mind being number 4, number 5, so I can get one of those other two backs.
So, I mean, are you all in on McCaffrey? Because 272 carries, all those touchdowns. Hard to imagine he's going to repeat it.
Doc, it's a lot of question marks, I think, in the top 10 projected guys, but a healthy McCaffrey isn't one of them.
Simple as that. All right.
I mean, Doc, Willie gave you the unabridged version.
Right.
I just think when we're talking about Mr. McCaffrey, if he's healthy, I mean, Doc, what is it to say?
100% right. 100% right.
Take what he does in the passing game. Listen, guys, there's a lot of folks we can spend time talking about. It's not Mr. McCaffrey. Don't overthink this.
All right, let's talk about Bijan Robinson. I've seen him going anywhere from 1 to 8 or 9. You know, we think without Arthur Smith, they're going to get him the ball more. But just the other day, Swami, they mentioned Tyler Algier still going to be a big part of their offense. Are you 100% in on Bijan? Are you clicking that button without any reservation?
Negative. I will likely where he's going. I won't have any Dijon or Bijan. I'll be sitting on the sideline. Mr. Walls seemed like he likes him. He'll be high on him, I guess, but not me. And the primary reason why, you already said it, is Mr. Algiers. Even though I like him now having a quarterback, I just don't know what's going to go into that backfield. They seem to split him a lot. I don't know if he'll be, in there half the time or what right now. And until they make a commitment to him, I cannot. And for that reason, I'm out.
Willie, if you can choose at number 5, and let's say Bijan and Breece Hall are both on the board, who are you taking and why?
Breece Hall.
Why?
I'll take Breece Hall. I like them both. Don't get it twisted. But the reason I'm taking Mr. Breece Hall is, let me read you some stats from the last 3 games. And he has a quarterback. And he only had 1 goal line touch last year. Think about that. And the only guy to have 2 70-something yard plus runs for a touchdown the last 3 games of the season. 32 touches, 191. 22 touches, 126 in the TD. 39 touches, 190 yards in the TD. Okay, what I'm saying is now he has a quarterback. And by the way, he only caught like 76 balls with me blocking, you throwing to him. And Odell throwing to him. He caught 76 balls last year. And then you're going to have Mr. Rodgers throwing it to him and opening things up. And I guarantee you that he will not only have one, goal line touch this year like he did last year, in the red zone. So yes, I love Breece Hall. I will take him over Bijan because I know he's going to get the rock. He's going to get the rock. Now, Bijan, let me say, I like Bijan too. If he's available number 7 or 8, I'll take him. I will take him. I'll take Bijan Robinson. I like Bijan Robinson because remember, he was the 5th, 6th most, total yards guy in the game, and they only had 50% of the touches. Now, if they gonna be dumb again, which I don't think they are. I mean, if he could get 65, 67% of the touches, Bijan will pay off his price. I ain't talking about taking him number 1. Hell no. I'm talking about number 6, 7, or 8 after I get Mr. Breece Hall first before I get him.
Swami, you're picking anywhere from 3 till 9, anywhere in there. Do you prefer in a PPR league, which most people play, do you prefer taking a receiver or will you take a Bijan or a Breece Hall instead?
I definitely Bijan until they commit to him, Doc. I hope I was clear on this. I can't.
Then would you take Breece Hall over an Amon-Ra St. Brown, over Justin Jefferson, over guys like that?
Doc, not just no, but hell no. So that stuff that Walls was just talking about he'd rather have Breece Hall. And as much as I do like that offense, again, there's no way I'm going to take him over what I think are guys who can be around 1,800 yards and 15 touchdowns or something like that. I just can't take him over that unless you have him performing, and putting up those type of numbers, which I don't. Right now, does he look good? Does that offense, with those pieces, Mike Williams, Aaron Rodgers being in that lineup now, they look totally different. You figure Mr. Wilson will have a chance. That offense could do something this year. And I do like Breece Hall, but I just think in a PPR, I might take those guys even better. And Mr. Jefferson has been slowly moving on up. And I'm talking about just like the one with Lionel and Weezy. So he is, I know we're not talking about that right now, Doc, but I am interested. And anyway, I'll stop there. But as far as those running backs, I don't think I would take them over. But I do agree with Walls. Breece is very interesting. It's just I can't put him over Justin Jefferson and St. Brown right
now. All right. Justin Jefferson's going to a deluxe apartment in the Swami sky. All right. Let me ask you here now, Willie. Jahmyr Gibbs. Last year, you would say it was more Montgomery and less Gibbs. But this year, is it more Gibbs and less Montgomery? How much do you like Gibbs?
I like Gibbs if I can get him in the second round. I'm not taking him in the first round because I still think Montgomery is going to be a factor. But listen, we saw what happened. Gibbs is elite. Okay, but he's sharing. Okay, so for me, when somebody's sharing and he's going like number 1 in the round, in the drafts, give me the discount in Montgomery when you get him in, round 7 or 8. Give me the discount. I love Gibbs, but he's sharing. It's a 50%. It's a 50-50 deal, but he is elite. I love Gibbs. I love him, but I'm not paying that price for him, in the first round. I'm not doing it.
So, Willie always likes a discount. Are you looking at a discount there with Gibbs in round 2? Because I'm seeing him going in round 1 in drafts. You're picking 10, you're picking 11, you're picking 12. Gibbs is going there. He's not making it to round 2.
Doc, I think somebody once said if he's in a split, he wants to quit or something like that. But anyway, but I tell you what, Doc, it's not a chance. Willie is wrong a lot as far as some of these first round guys, but he's not wrong about this one, Doc. It's no way. I could see Montgomery easily getting 50%. The way he ran, the way he played, he still showed a burst. He got things done. I think the way that offense, they're gonna probably run the ball a little bit more this year. I think that's going to be one of the better offenses, but I just don't like the split. I'm not really seeing these guys going that high, but if they are, I promise you, Doc, Joe Gibbs, even Marla Gibbs, we talked about, that's Florence for those out there who don't know, from the Jeffersons, since we on the Jeffersons. There is a bunch of Gibbs I would take. It ain't him, not in the first round. No thank you.
All right, let's move. Let's move to the king, Derrick Henry. Willie, he goes from Tennessee to Baltimore, playing behind a really good offensive line with a mobile quarterback. This is Henry's chance. If he wants to win, get to a Super Bowl, it's gotta have to be in this next year or two. Are you taking him in round 2? Maybe he makes it to round 3. Right now, I'm seeing him going more in 2. How big a fan are you?
Round 3, I'm taking it. I'll take him in round 3. And yes, I do like Mr. Henry. Mr. Gus Edwards had, I believe, 13 touchdowns with the Ravens. And I do like Gus Edwards. He's an interesting guy, but don't be disrespectful. It's Mr. Henry. And now he's behind, with Mr. Jackson. And so I think, and they want to run on the goal line less with Mr. Jackson. I think they're going to, try to, say he's not going to be running as much at the goal line. So yes, I do like Mr. Henry because I think Mr. Henry can get at least 16 or 17 touchdowns this year for the Ravens. So I like Mr. Henry, but I like taking him. I like taking him in the 3rd round.
Swami, Willie said something interesting there, and I know you're a Baltimore Raven guy. If I'm in a standard league, I think Henry's a 1st-round pick, honestly. If I'm in a half-point PPR, he's a great pick. In a PPR, do you feel the same? Are you as high on Henry as Willie is?
So King Henry's value this year, I think, goes up, not because he's necessarily going to get more touches, but because I think he's going to probably, like Wall said, get more touchdowns. I think the Baltimore offense will likely score more points than what he probably scored in Tennessee. I think for that reason, we'll see King Henry down inside the 5, maybe get 5 more touchdowns that he might normally seen over the last couple of years, just because of those increased chances that he's going to get in the Baltimore offense. But I do think they may still get him going, maybe in a screen game, but not enough for me to think that he would have more value in PPR. But I do still like him, even in PPR, because of the touchdowns. And I think he'll have more opportunities to score, which can, factor in, assuming that it's not a lot of other options that will likely be there if you're towards the end of the 1st round.
All right, Saquon Barkley leaves the Giants. He goes to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts really scored a ton of tush pushes last year. We saw him in DFS. He was a monster. But now you got Saquon there. Now you don't need to do that. You don't have Jason Kelce, right? And maybe you don't need to give the ball to Hurts as much. Is Saquon a rock-solid 2nd-round pick in your mind? And moreover, is he a guy that you're willing to play weekly in DFS? What's your thoughts on Saquon?
I like him. But he had, listen, he's every other year being healthy. So he was healthy last year, right? Are we going to get the pull hamstring? He's going to be out the first game of the season, But let me say this. I like him. The reason I like Saquon Barkley is because you could dump the ball down to him. Now, Hurts, I would love to see him throw it to the running back more because he doesn't throw it enough. He throws more to his receivers. So, I would think that hopefully that if the coach has any sense at all, a dump down to Mr. Barkley makes sense. I like him. And I think he's going to get more opportunities because they never had that type of back that can take it in the end zone like that. Remember, he did it with the Giants. And but I do like him. If he's available for me in the 2nd round, it depends on what receiver is there, what kind of receiver is there. But I like him though. I don't have a problem with him. But there are a lot of mouths to feed there. You got the 2 receivers, you got the quarterback, and so therefore, I like him, but I don't know if I'm taking him early in the 2nd round.
Swami, Willie said something interesting. You got Goddard back healthy. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devonta Smith. You got a quarterback who runs and who also doesn't throw the ball to his running backs that often. All that being said, Saquon is still Saquon. Are you feeling confident with him this year?
Doc, absolutely. First of all, let me apologize to Mr. Barkley. I'm going to knock on wood. I'm going to pull out the rabbit's foot, the 4-leaf clover, and all those kind of things on your behalf. The horseshoe. Not sure what's up with this guy. every week now to start off this preseason, Doc, he's talking about that forbidden thing that we don't want to talk about. So I'm gonna knock on wood. We know that this stuff is a part of the game, but I don't know if we need to put that in here for guys that are healthy. Now, it was appropriate to talk about it, I think, because Mr. McCaffrey's banged up. But Saquon is not. And he's a part of an offense. Mind you, he was doing all of this before. I think he will be in a better situation this year. The Eagles' offensive line, he will be running wild. I think it's a lot of reasons to like him. Like Henry, I think he's in an offense that will score more points, which will make him a little bit more valuable. I think they'll get him involved, maybe not as much as he was in the Giants' offense because they just got more weapons, a little bit more mouths to feed, but still better than I think the average Bear. So for that reason, and I'm not talking about Chicago, I'm talking about the rest of the running backs that are going late first round, early second round. And for that reason, I think he's very interesting. And I think if the Eagles lean on him a little bit more, if they trust that he can tote the rock and get some of those tough yards and stuff like that, that he could have, an even better season than any of the seasons that he had with New York. I like Saquon.
All right, there's some guys that I call league winners. Why? Because if they go off, they're going to help you win your league. Devon Chan is one of those guys. We saw it in DFS. We saw when he had the big week. He's a monster. But Willie, there were weeks that he didn't show up. He was injured. Then there's some weeks where he was like 10 for 27. So you saw the highs, you saw the lows. Where are you on a Chan?
Man, he's going in the second round. And not only no, but hell no. I am not taking him in the second round. Can't do it. The coach even said it, that Moser is going to be getting most of the touches. And who got the ball at the goal line last year? Okay? Give me the discount. That's another situation, the Detroit situation, that I'm taking a discount on Moser later in the draft. I'm not taking him in the second round. He's talented, yes. But you can't do nothing for me in the tub, okay? And this dude, man, and you can say what you want to say about the tub. Sir, prove it to me. I like him, but not with the touches, not when he gets down there. I can't do it. I can't take him early in the second round. No. Him and Gibbs early in the second round, second round, first round. No, I'm not doing it. So, y'all can have him. He is talented, but I'm not taking him, for the amount of touches he get. I can't do it.
Swami, is he more of a DFS play than a guy you want to hit your wagon to in seasonal?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Walls on that one, Doc. I just don't like, and I'm not saying because of any tub type reasons. I'm just saying it just because of the touches. I think they're going to look the same. He's definitely explosive. He's going to have some games where they absolutely go nuts. But I just don't like, taking anybody that high who is, still looking at probably getting about the same, about 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. I can't. I need a number one guy to take that home. I need somebody who's going to be a focal point in the offense. And to be honest, if you look at him, what is he, third at best, maybe fourth? Like, I can't take nobody who's that far down. Second round, Doc. No, thank you.
You got Tyreek.
I like him. Still like him, but just not that high for season long. At DFS, obviously, for sure, we'll get him in there.
All right, let's talk about Travis Etienne. Jacksonville's a weird team, guys. Some weeks they look bad. Really bad. And then some weeks you're like, wow, this team is great. Trevor Lawrence throws 30 feet in the air. Sometimes he can't find guys. And then sometimes he looks like he's, Johnny Unitas out there slinging it. Etienne is going as a solid round 2 player. But Willie, are you in or you out?
Night. I'm going to sleep on that. I got nothing else to say about Etienne. No. Not only no, but hell no. I ain't going to eat. You might as well call him ass TN with everybody they lost. No way. I am not. Second round, my hind pots. No. Man, no. This is easy for me. I will get a receiver that I know is going to get the rock before I get ass TN. No. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else for you. No. All
right. Is ETN really cheeks there, Swami?
I'm ET out. As best I can tell you that. I love him as a player, But again, that offense, he's still looking top 267 carries for 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3.8 a carry. I cannot stress to you enough how that's not first round, second round type production. No, thank you.
All right, Jonathan Taylor. He and Anthony Richardson did not play on that field too often together. They just didn't. Injuries to both of them. Mobile quarterback set up running lanes for Jonathan Taylor. Is he being drafted too late, Swami? Because right now Taylor is going in round 2 when he, at one point, he was the number 1 pick in the fantasy football drafts. What are you thinking?
Tub concerns aside, I still like Taylor. I still like, I think him and Richardson could do as far as, leading the team in touchdowns and red zone type of opportunities. So I'm not mad where Taylor's going. I probably think it's about right, all things considered. And so, I think he's in a good spot. I like Taylor. And obviously, if he can stay healthy, I think he'll be a great pick at that spot. Willie, you a big Taylor guy?
Yes. If he's available in the second round, I'll take him. I think he's one of those guys worth the shot. Who does he have behind him?
Trey Sermon. Right, Trey Sermon.
Yeah. So, and then Richardson will open it up more for him. Just like Michael Vick did. To who's the running back that Michael Vick had?
Or Dunn?
Dunn, yeah. Remember Mr. Dunn, how he had more room to run and things of that nature? And Taylor, listen, Taylor can ball, so I like where he's going. I will take him in round 2, and I will sleep like a baby. Give me Mr.
Kyren Williams surprised a lot of people last year. And the Rams love feeding their number 1 running back. They love it. But can he do that again this year? They drafted Blake Corum from Michigan, who looked pretty good in his own right, Swami. But you're talking about Kyren Williams. Can he get 25 carries a week? Can he stay healthy? Are you taking him? Because he's going to go in late round 2, maybe early round 3. Are you willing to take him there?
I think I'm interested in him. I think what we saw last year, I think them getting him involved with the emergence of Nakua, with Kupp, hoping that he's healthy and he was able to kind of have a whole off season to kind of get ready for this season to make up for last year. I think a lot of folks might sleep on this Rams team, and with some of the losses like, a Donald and stuff like that on the other side, they could find themselves in some of those track meets that we saw last year. And I think Williams is definitely a man of interest. I would move him up ahead of a number of the guys that we've already talked about.
You agree, Willie?
Man, I will run to the damn board if he's available in round 3. I will run there and pin it on as quick as I can. Because one thing McVay, what does he do? He feeds his number 1 guy. He said, listen, I know you're the number 2. I like you, but sit your ass down. Come on, you're going to get the rock. Especially when he's dependable. Yes. That's a yes, and yes. Give me some yes. I love him, especially if you get him in round 3. Give me some. I love him. I love him this year, and I will play him in DFS.
All right, let's talk about Rachaad White for a second from Tampa. A lot of guys didn't appreciate him, but he's the only game in town. I know Bucky Irving is there, and Bucky Irving was okay at Oregon, but White, man, it felt like they were just getting in a rhythm. They almost beat the Lions there towards the end of the year. They almost made that NFC Championship game, Willie. Are you in on Rachaad White?
Yes. I like both Whites. Including
Zamir.
Yeah. Give me. Now you're talking. Going in later rounds, yes, Mr. White. And I will say this: if they would have gave him the ball more, they could have been playing get past that championship game. Mr. White is a reliable catcher. He runs the rock. He's a dual threat. Yes. Give me some of that. I like Mr. White because he was quite reliable, the second half of the year. So yes, and yes with Mr. White.
Swami, it's funny about Rachaad White. They handed the ball to him, but they didn't throw it to him enough. This guy's got really good hands out of the backfield. It felt like they could use him more.
But I think they started to kind of get him involved. I like what I saw with him, especially towards the end of the year as a receiver. I think that they might build on that, and that's why I like him a lot. Like out of all the guys we named, with the exception of maybe Breece Hall and McCaffrey, a lot of these other guys don't bring you the same value that White does in the backfield. So especially in PPR, he's a man of interest. DFS week 1. I know we're not there yet, but he's a man of interest. So I definitely like what Mr. White is doing.
What about Isaiah Pacheco? I mean, yeah, you got Edwards-Helaire who stinks. You got Deneric Prince who stinks. But Pacheco he caught the ball a lot at the end of last year, Swami. He looked pretty good. Are we undervaluing how good he could be?
Of course, because I think what people are doing is they're focusing on all of the other offense that are more traditional run first. And what they don't realize is that now that you have retooled Patrick Mahomes, now that he's Patrick 9.0, this guy's different every quarter of the season. Now that he's Patrick 9.0 and he's got some weapons, guess who it opens it up for? Guess who's going to be finding lanes all day long and getting more opportunities in the red zone? You guessed it, Mr. Isaiah Pacheco.
Willie, you in love?
Yes. I'll run to the board in round 3 too with Mr. Pacheco. Yes, yes, and yes. You saw what he did towards the at the end of the year in the playoffs. He was what you call a workhorse type of back, and you giving him speed. And, and they were doing that with me and you at the receiver position.
And the safety's gonna be
yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. He's going to have some lanes, and he runs hard anyway. So he's going to be running hard, legs high, like Mr. Craig used to do for San Francisco, going in the end zone, getting untouched. They worry about Kelsey. They're going to spread him out. And boom, boom, boom. Yes, yes, and yes.
People out there, you may have missed what Swami said. Swami, you said, what is that safety going to be doing? That safety is going to be covering speed. It's going to be covering Worthy. He's going to be covering Hollywood Brown. He's not going to be sneaking up to the line of scrimmage to make that hit on Pacheco. Not at all.
No.
That's why you're the Swami. All right, Joe Mixon going to the Texans, Willie. Better offensive line than Cincinnati, whose offensive line was kind of a sieve. Is this a year where Joe Mixon can get 12 touchdowns?
Yes, I like Joe Mixon. Yes, he's reliable. He is reliable. What is he going in the 6th round? What round is he going in?
In high stakes, he's going like late 4th.
But I think
so. Maybe in home league 5th round.
Yeah. I like Joe. I like Joe there. Joe is see, guys. What we're trying to tell you is we're taking more receivers early. Get those receivers early, for your season long. Then because you got some good value at running backs later. And he is one of them. Love him. I think he's going to get double-digit touchdowns. Look what's around him. Same thing. Weapons. Look at his receivers. It's going to open it up. Yes, Mr. Mixon. And guess what? He's not a tub guy. The guy plays. He plays the season. He's a double-digit touchdown guy. And it was Devin Asentary who was running the ball last year. Now you got Mr. Mixon. Yes. 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 Yes.
Swami, I think Willie likes him. Do you like him?
I definitely like the offense. I like the spot he's in. I think Mixon, if has been in some great situations the last couple of years, but I think if he's able to stay out of the tub, then I think he can make the most out of this one. The reason why is I just feel like the Texans are headed in the right direction, and he could be a big part of that and take a little bit of pressure off of the offense so they don't have to throw it as much. And if they could just have, continue to have those big plays in the passing game, because, he's behind the quarterback now, and he give them that little bit that they need to kind of stay ahead of the chains and mix it up a little bit, have be balanced. I think he could create some opportunities for the offense that they didn't have last year. So I like that addition to Mixon.
Guys, do you think Mixon's presence hurts the touchdown passes of CJ Stroud? Because let's just say it's the 5-yard line. Maybe Stroud doesn't need to throw the ball if you can hand it to Mixon. What do you think, Willie?
I guess he's.
I mean, it could. I mean, I still like I like CJ because he throws it. But listen, I think they both can eat. I mean, now I like Stroud and I like Mixon. I don't know what receiver's going to get it, so I'm out on the receivers because I know they're bad, but I don't know which one it's going to be each week. But in terms of yes, I mean they both can eat. They both can eat. Both of them can eat. Mr. Mixon, like I said, I guarantee he will get at least 13 touchdowns this year.
Swami, what do you think? Does that devalue Stroud at all for you or not at all?
Not at all. I was trying to give Willie an eye exam just now. I don't know if he's been seeing what I've been seeing, but I don't think so. Here's what I think. It'll be kind of like last year. It'll be these games where they absolutely go nuts. They got the ability to take down a tournament. He's likely to be in that 2 or 3 times. And the rest of the games, he'll be solid. He'll have decent numbers. So for season long, again, even if he's giving you, say, 25 points on those games where Mixon has a bigger game, it's not going to hurt you. I think he's still going to be right there. He's somebody who's going to at least get 1 or 2 touchdowns every week. And then there's going to be those weeks where he go for 3, 4 plus. So I think he's a stud. The way he was playing, the way he looked on film, there's a lot to like about him.
All right, other guys I want to talk about here. What about Aaron Jones, Swami? Dude was out for a lot of weeks last year with a hamstring. Now he goes from Green Bay to Minnesota. Maybe that offensive line isn't as good. I know he's playing in a dome. He looked really good in the playoffs last year. Epically good. What's your thoughts?
I'm concerned about the quarterback position. I'm concerned with their ability to kind of run the ball since Cook left. I got more question marks right now than I do like Aaron Jones. I think he's got a lot of ability. The question marks are just more around the Vikings offense as a whole, in particular at the quarterback position. Depending on what we're able to see in the preseason, which it started, and we've been enjoying the first couple of games. I just don't know. I'm gonna put a question mark next to it. I do like Jones. I do think he'll have some value. I think they will use him, but I just don't know if how many touchdowns will they score each week, and how often are they 3 and out is what the question marks are.
Willie, what about Alvin Kamara from the Saints? You in on him?
Out. And I'm out on Jones too. I'm out on Jones. I think he's gonna hit that mark. I mean, I just don't like Mr. Kamara this year. I don't think he's gonna do what he did last year. And it showed in his running back he did not, he was not breaking tackles like he did in previous years. He's slowing down, and I am not on Kamara, and I think there's going to be a different run offense. I am out on Mr. Kamara. No, thank you. Sorry.
Swami, are you in on Ramondre Stevenson?
Doc, first of all, I'm not out on Kamara. I have maybe a question mark on Kamara, but not out. And the reason why, because I think the Saints offense, I think they are still decent. And I think that if he's going to be involved, that, we know the kind of things that he can do back there. Now, as far as who's the next guy, Doc? It's
Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre Stevenson, I think that offense is still more of a question mark. Doc, he broke my heart the last couple of years. And the first year is because I had the guy in front of him, and then he wound up emerging as the guy. Then the second year, I went back and got him this time in the draft, and then he wound up being Poo-Doo could shoot. So for that reason, he'll be trade bait. I don't know if I want to draft Ramondre this year.
Willie, what about those Steelers running backs, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren? Arthur Smith is there. He's the offensive coordinator. Justin Fields did not look good in preseason today. He looked poo-poo on a stick. What do you think of the Steelers running backs, Willie?
You said the Steelers?
Yeah.
Well, they got a running back coach going there. I think, that's one of my sleepers. I actually think that they listen. He's a proven. They got that coach today. They're gonna run the ball. They will run the ball, and from where they're going, like a Jalen Warren, he's going what in the like 9th or 10th round.
Well, yeah, he's going probably around anywhere between 7 and 9, depending on the league you're in.
Yeah, more like for 9 for me. If he's available at 9, I will take him because that's a split down the middle, and they got the coach from Atlanta down in Pittsburgh, so what they're going to try to do is they're going to run the rock. So they're okay. I mean, they're not people I'm looking for. They're not because it's a straight split. But I do like Jalen Warren, like in the 9th or 10th round if he's available.
Are you looking for Swami right there?
Ooh, me. Let me take this one, Doc. First of all, Jalen Warren, if it was a 15-round league, he would be taken around 17 or 18, not 9, which means free agent. And as far as Najee Harris, he's barely a 12-round pick. I had to suffer through him last year. I don't like the 255 carries. At times he ran the ball hard. We think because we got a quarterback now, or at least they got somebody who we got a little bit more confidence in, even if it's Mr. Justin, even if he's back there and it's not. I can't. Doc, I can't right now, and I don't. And then if you add the split on top of it, obviously we like Sierra's husband. And obviously, we think Justin can do a little bit maybe there, bring some of that magic that he brought with him. But I can't get behind that. No.
All right, Willie, what about James Cook?
Yeah, for where he's going, and Buffalo.
He's going around 4 in high stakes leagues, around 4, maybe even 5, 4 or 5. Feels early.
I can't.
Feels early.
I won't. I guess I won't be having any Cook love this year. No, thank you.
All right, Swami, because I got to go to a draft soon. Is there a name of a guy that you like that we haven't talked about? A Swami says kind of running back.
I think James Cook is a man of interest. I don't think we talked about him. I still think Josh Jacobs in that Green Bay offense would be a man of interest. I think there's a lot of opportunities over there. We like what they're doing at the quarterback position. And I'll leave Walls a little bit of meat on the plate, but I do want to say James Conner. I just feel like I like his versatility and what he's been doing. And if that offense can do anything, if Marvin Harrison, I hope we get a good look at him. If they're able to get anything going, at all, I think he'll benefit.
Willie, who got next?
What Cook are you talking about? You said James Cook.
He likes James Cook. You don't?
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm out on James Cook, but I do like Conner. I think Conner is still interesting. I think a guy that people are not talking about that I like a lot is for the Commanders is Robinson. I think Robinson.
You like him more? Do you like him more than Eckler?
Yes, I do. Because Eckler does not, he did not break, tackles last year. He was one of the worst in the league. I think he hit that wall and it's going down. And Mr. Robinson had, went from 8 catches to like 36 last year. I think Mr. Robinson can be a viable receiver, and he's going to get the ball at the goal line. So yes, I am in on Mr. Robinson. I like Robinson, and I do agree because I remember I did an article on Jacobs. I love Jacobs this year. Now, the guy that we didn't talk about is the guy from Chicago, that went there.
Oh, all right. So here's a question for you, both guys, real quick. DeAndre Swift was in Detroit, no more. He was in Philadelphia, no more. What makes everybody think he's going to go to Chicago and be a superstar?
I didn't say a superstar, but where he's going, I think he's interesting. I think he's an interesting guy from where he's going.
Preston, Doc, I agree with Willie. I think he's still showing a burst. I think even though he was underwhelming in those offenses, it just felt more like it was the offense, like taking him out of certain places or we would have him and be frustrated because Jalen is getting a tush push, even though Swift was running the ball well. Like he could have easily had a few more touchdowns. He did run for over 1,000 yards. I mean, you would think though, after being in those two offenses, I don't know if you can be in better situations from offensive line, play calling, and points than Detroit. And
yeah, the best. I mean, that was the best lines you could find in the NFL.
So for that reason, Doc, I think I'm gonna have to lean back a little bit, talk out the other side of my neck, and agree with you. I don't know if he could, if he couldn't do it there, then yeah.
All right, I'm going to give everybody a name out there. Jonathan Brooks for Carolina.
Right.
I mean, that dude was good in college. And you know what Dave Canales did with Kenneth Walker. You saw what he did with Rashad White. I think he could do it with Jonathan Brooks, guys. I do. It may take him 5 or 6 weeks, but in the second half of the year, that's a guy that I like.
He's starting off
Yeah,
bad.
I mean,
He's starting off bad for a rookie. I don't want to say it. I'll let Walls say it, but I don't like rookies starting off in the trainer's office. I don't want them coming. I don't want them down. I need them in the room with the rest of the running backs. That's the only problem right now for me.
no. If he's available I think he's worth a flyer in the 11th round or something like that. I would take him and stash him in a 12-team league.
Right.
I would do that. Not in a 10-team league. No, hell no. He won't. I'll see him when his ass come back. I would not do that. But a 12-team league, 14-team league, yes, I would do that. But he is an interesting guy. But man, we see with those knee injuries, you need a little time for that. So, thank you.
All right, we are done here tonight. I wish everybody out there a wonderful weekend. For Willie and the Swami, it's Dr. Roto. We're back talking wide receivers right here on Friday Night Lights. What do we say, guys? We say be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.